Hi, this is Jim Couri again with a tape giving you the tip of the iceberg on the Jud Morehouse, Nelson Rockerfeller, Hugh Hefner, Playboy Club swindle that went on in New York that was finally exposed, prosecuted by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, resulting in the conviction of Jud Morehouse. Jud Morehouse was the Republican state chairman who really made Nelson Rockerfeller the governor of New York. Nelson Rockerfeller, whom I met a number of times, was a very fine gentleman. Nelson Rockerfeller was probably the original Renaissance man. He was an art lover. He was a fine person who grew up with a platinum spoon in his mouth and really didn't understand how bad guys work. And I have to say to you, Jud Morehouse and some of his crew were bad guys. I lived with these guys. I lived with my dad. I saw the way these kingmakers operated. I saw the way they put judges into this pigeonhole or that pigeonhole and used them when they wanted them and chewed them up and spit them out when they didn't. Jud Morehouse finagled Hugh Hefner when Hugh Hefner was desperate to get a liquor license in New York for the new Playboy Club on 59th Street. Jud Morehouse demanded a $100,000 payoff. Marty Epstein, who was installed as chairman of the SLA thanks to my dad and Johnny Cruz and appointed by Nelson Rockerfeller, was a gigantic crook. There were probably 24 lawyers in New York. Their entire practice was built around state liquor authority litigation. Those lawyers were used by people who wanted liquor licenses and used to the extent where those firms made sure that when the liquor license was issued, they got it. And this was a very simple procedure. It was the more you grease, the easier you slide. I will name names of who those SLA lawyers were. It was a menu. Each one came to Marty Epstein with a contract, and Marty would select a price. If it was a small bar, maybe it was $10,000. If it was a big bar, maybe it was $50,000. The lawyer knew that he collected his fee plus whatever Marty was to get to make sure that their client got the liquor license. That's how it worked. The in lawyers got the license, the out lawyers got the shaft. And it worked like this for years. Before Marty Epstein became head of the SLA, the mob could make no headway with gay bars. Lo and behold, when Marty became head of the SLA, the Gambino crime family were dancing in the streets because there were gay bars all over Greenwich Village. Striptease bars. Marty made sure that what he wanted, he got. Jud Morehouse worked hand in glove with Marty. The amazing thing about it is a lot of these SLA lawyers metamorphosized into the Supreme Courthouse as judges. Many of them sat around our house finagling the system. They became judges. Now, I don't have to tell you, when the right guy called those people up, whoever was on the wrong side of that fence lost their case. And it happened over and over and over again. I mean, I'm not going to mention names right now, but I'll mention many. And when these guys got the contract, they delivered. And Rockerfeller appointed many of them to the Supreme Court bench. President Johnson appointed a few of them to the Customs Courthouse, thanks to my dad and Johnny Cruz. So that's how the system worked. Now, not only was Morehouse dissatisfied with his $100,000 contract with the Playboy Club, they pulled another swindle off with the Five Fingers Racetrack and Bucky Mintz. That's a whole other story, which I will give to you in living color. Poor Nelson Rockefeller really didn't think much of it because he really didn't understand what was going on. Except Jud Morehouse was sitting in the Americana Hotel in Miami Beach, Florida, waiting for his brown paper bag, or maybe it was a shoebox, I've forgotten, with 100,000 cash to make sure that the Five Fingers racetrack got the go-ahead from the Racing Commission. This is how it worked, and this is how it works today. Where Morehouse left off, new faces come on the scene. It's a merry-go-round. One guy's off, another guy's on. Resourceful George Pavia, resourceful Joe Burke, innovative Joe Burke, got to the right in lawyer. I'm going to tell you who it was. Not now. George Pavia bought off Joan Madden because all you got to do is look at the decisions that she rendered from 2002 until the so-called kangaroo trial that she conducted when she rewrote the statutes of nuisance, rewrote the rules of evidence, suppression of evidence, and on and on and on. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. All you have to do is know how to read. So we're going to put this in the right perspective. And I'm sorry to tell you that I'm not going to be pushed around, extorted, or intimidated. Because that's how they work. They'll try to corner you and write decisions to make you look bad. But you know something? The truth is going to win out on this one. I thank you for this time. I look forward to talking to you again and giving you, in living color, what's going on. Thank you.